everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sophie and I would love it if you click that big red subscribe button down below and turn on that notification bell as well so that you never miss a video. Now this video is going to be focusing on my language learning goals for 2023, what languages I'm going to be focusing on and when, and kind of a rough study plan, what I want to achieve in each language. I feel like it's really important that I set myself language goals, especially this year, because prior to this summer I studied languages at university, so I never really set myself language goals at the start of each year because my language goals kind of started at the start of the academic year instead, and also my goal was always really to improve as much as I could in each of those languages to ensure that I would get the best final grade, right? And what language I focused on the most would kind of depend on when I had exams and assignments in different languages, but I was always basically focusing on them all because often I had exams back to back anyway, like one French exam one day and a Spanish exam the next. But also what I would work on in each language would kind of change depending on feedback from exams, seeing where I really needed to improve. Well, this time I'm all on my own and I feel like, you know, I need to set myself some goals because, you know, I have really been getting used to studying languages on my own, not having that structured classroom time and then structured homework to go away and work on. It's fully just me deciding what to learn. I'm fully responsible for my language learning journey now, and also because I work full-time, trying to find the time to learn a language, especially in the winter because it gets dark early in the UK and I come home from work and it's dark. I just find that really unmotivating. If I come home and it's dark, I want to get my pyjamas on and I want to watch Netflix and that's it. I don't want to study a language, but that means that if I do just do that all the time, I will not progress at all, because often I don't even have the weekends to learn because I have other things going on at the weekends. But yeah, I'm really rambling on now. I'm gonna crack on with this video and I'm just gonna start with an overview of what languages I'm focusing on this year and when I'm going to focus on them. So as I just mentioned, I want to show you the breakdown of what I'm going to be studying each month, because I have a lot of languages that I want to work on this year. I say a lot, I have 4, which I know some people would some polyglots work on way more than that, but to me that's a lot, especially working full-time. How can I work on all 4 of those each week? I probably can't. I need to break it up somehow. So I've created a rough monthly schedule on Notion, but this could change as things change throughout the year, and I will just adapt that. Maybe at the end of each month I will evaluate, right, okay, so at the end of January, do I want to be focusing on Spanish the most in February, for example? So I've given myself 3 languages, but I felt like I'm more going to be focused on 2. The third one is just kind of if I want to dabble, I don't know, watch a bit of Netflix in that language, or maybe open up a grammar book once, I don't know. But the ones that I have, the top 2, oh, why can't I speak? I've written them down in order, and the top 2 will be the ones that I kind of really focus on that month. So the languages I'm going to be focused on this year are going to be Italian, Spanish, French and German. So French, German and Spanish were the languages I studied at university, and although, you know, I graduated with a 2-1, there's still a lot of learning to do, and I don't necessarily speak those languages as much as I used to, so they get a bit rusty and I need to find people that I can speak them with and practice. I mean, I have a friend who I speak to in Spanish and German, and I do currently use Spanish in my job, but some days more than others. But yeah, I can see my camera battery is going to die, so I'm gonna change the battery and get back to you. So in January my main focus is going to be on Italian because that is my new language that I've started learning, so I need to focus a lot of time to that, and that's one that I probably am going to work on most months, because I feel like if I take a big break, I'm just going to go straight back to square one, because I feel like when you take a break early on in the language, it's really hard to get back into it. Whereas when you take a bit of a break, when you're more advanced, like the knowledge is still there, kind of locked away in your brain, and you just need something to kind of retrieve all that knowledge. It is there, you just need something to kind of release it back out into your brain. You just need to start using it again. So yeah, January I'm gonna focus on Italian, and also German is a language that I'm going to be working on a bit, that I haven't really worked on recently. Italian and Spanish would be my main big languages, because Spanish I use in my job and Italian is new. But there may be a chance that I start using German in my job. I think that will be as well as Spanish, but I don't really know, and I don't want to talk about it too much in case it doesn't happen. I'm not changing jobs or companies or anything. There just may be a chance that I end up using German as well. And if that is the case, I think it'd be a good idea for me to kind of work on my German a bit, because it's a bit rusty, as I don't use it so much. So I'm making sure that, you know, I include German really in my plan a lot. French is more just in there because I love French, and it's not going to get as much focus as the other languages, unfortunately, because I don't really use it anymore, which is a shame. I need to make some French friends or get back in touch with people from when I was living in Lyon, but I'm really bad at texting people and staying in touch with people. I kind of need people to reach out to me, which is bad. I should be reaching out to other people, but I'm just, yeah, maybe I need to send some messages to some old friends from when I was living in Lyon. But yeah, so yeah, I need to stop rambling on. But January, Italian, then German, and then Spanish, because obviously Spanish is always going to have a big, I'm always going to have a big focus on Spanish. Then February, I want to really focus on Spanish, but still Italian, and then German would just be like my little language. Then Italian in March, because, you know, I really need to focus on Italian, as it is a new language, and I still need to focus on Spanish, but I kind of want to learn some French, and because I wouldn't have studied French so far that year, I feel like I need to give French quite a bit of attention. So yeah, I've put French as like my middle language, my second language. And then April, I'm really going to be focusing on Spanish, and then German in April, and then as well, and then Italian at the bottom, because I feel like I need to focus more on Spanish and German at that time of the year, but I still don't want to like completely forget Italian. Although in May, dropping it in May, I've only put 2 languages, because I'm hoping to go on a like 2-week holiday, and kind of travel. I want to kind of backpack, but I don't have the time to backpack because annual leave is like tight. So 2-week holiday, but traveling a bit, and hopefully it'll be somewhere Spanish speaking, which is why Spanish is high up in April and May. But I don't know as of yet. I haven't booked any time off. I haven't booked anything. Like, this could change. I could go at a different time of year. I just think May might be a nice time of year to go, because kind of, if I go, and then we've got June, Italian, Spanish, French. July, I mean, you can kind of read through this yourself. Why am I reading this all out to you? But well, I know why I'm reading this out to you, because in the video you've come here to listen to something, not read. But it does feel like I'm really rambling on and making this take so much longer than it needs to, so apologies for that. And then yeah, July, German, Spanish, Italian. August, Italian, German and Spanish. September, German, Spanish. October, Spanish and Italian. Why have I only given myself, I know why I've only given myself 2 languages then, because that's kind of the busy period at work, and I know I'm going to be more tired when I come home, and I don't know how much time I will have, and German, Italian, Spanish. And then I've created myself these little language pages, which I need to work on. I've only recently downloaded Notion, so there's not really much there. You see, I'm going to write myself my goals in Spanish, and these could, like, you know, change. I think I'm just going to write goals for the whole year. And yeah, I'm going to create a little table with resources. And I think I'm just going to add every resource I try, even if I don't like it. And note that I don't like it, or if someone recommends a resource to me, put it here and create like a little tag to say I haven't tried it yet, so I know to try it, and then I can kind of rate it, and kind of use the ones that I find. My camera randomly stopped recording. I'm assuming it's because my memory card was full, but I don't really know. I seem to have one memory card that just doesn't seem to work anymore, and I need to make a note of which one it is and replace it, because there'll be hardly anything on it, and my camera will just stop recording. And if I start recording again, then usually it says memory card full, but it doesn't tell me it's full when it stops recording. But I think I said I was gonna write myself some Spanish goals. I should have done this in advance, because now my mind's gonna go blank, isn't it? But my real goal for Spanish is I want to be level C1. They say we're level C1 when we finish university, but sometimes I'm just like, am I? Like, I probably am, but I'm like, am I? So I'm gonna put like level C1 at the top, just as kind of like a focus for me, but that's not like the initial goal. Also, why am I creating my own bullet points when there's a bullet point tab in Notion? Oh, okay, what have I done? Okay, right, yeah, so that's kind of the level I should be at in Spanish, so we'll just put that in bold there to aim for, but you know, I guess I kind of am that level. I don't know, but Spanish I really want to focus on grammar, particularly I think things I always forget about are like the imperative, because I don't really use it so much, and then when I do have to use it, I feel like I want to always double check the conjugations, especially the irregular ones. Like, I always, if I'm writing something in Spanish and I'm using the imperative, I will always like double check the verb that I've conjugated it correctly. On Spanish dit, I don't trust myself, and I should trust myself a lot more, so obviously I need to focus on that. And I guess focusing on the subjunctive is always handy, because I feel like I say I always struggle with the subjunctive. I should know it by now, and I do know it by now and have a much better understanding than I used to have, but I still feel like it's good to always refresh, because I definitely still do make some mistakes. And poor and para, because that's a classic, right? Everyone struggles with poor y para, and I still struggle with poor y para, and there's, you know, some rules I kind of understand, but there's still some times where I'm like, I don't really know. I feel like I use different ones at different times. I just use kind of what floats my boat sometimes, which is not what I should be using. I should be really thinking, okay, like, it's definitely poor, it's definitely para, I should be able to do that, but I apparently cannot. So yeah, I think that's the main goals I have for Spanish. I guess always listen is important, because there's different accents, so maybe try and watch like some shows from different places, try and understand different accents, so try and watch some different shows. I don't know, I feel like I watch mostly Spanish shows, to be fair, not like Mexican or Argentinian or anything like that. So yeah, and let's go to German. German, again, I should be level C1, but I haven't spoken it in a while. German is a funny language, because I feel like I'm so confident like speaking German, and I did have a stage where I lost my confidence speaking German after like the pandemic and having not studied abroad. But some of my friends did get to go to Germany, because it kind of depended on what time you were meant to go to each country, whether you got to go. So some people in my class got to go, and there wasn't many people that didn't go, so I feel like it kind of made me less inclined to speak, whereas I always used to like speak up in class, and it really just changed. Like, I used to be one of the loudest people in the class, and then suddenly I didn't want to speak in the German class anymore. Probably didn't help one of my lecturers in second year telling me my grammar was absolutely rubbish. I've always been good at speaking, but grammar was really bad when I was just asking her to help me come up with a good essay question. And I hope she's not watching this. She's probably not, but all my lecturers know I have a YouTube channel, but I never forgot that one moment. And it did tell me, yes, Sophie, really needs to focus on grammar a bit more. And I do, but I feel like no matter how much I focus on German grammar, like no matter how much I focused on German grammar at uni, my feedback was always that my grammar was a bit rubbish, and I think in final year they got a lot stricter on marking grammar, which meant my grades kind of dropped rather than getting better. So I guess the real goal for German should be, well, we'll put my level I should be at the top first, but my real goal should be grammar. But it's kind of hard to know where to start within that. But I guess at some point I would like to finish the grammar workbook that I have. So I guess that could be a goal for me, because my German is so bad, to finish the book that I have. I think it's called Deutsch Aktiv. And I think it's like B2 bis C1. So yeah, I guess finish it. That would be nice. And I guess my other goal for German is just to get confident speaking it again. Yeah, confidence speaking, so really to focus on speaking to people. And I don't know, I feel like I am quite confident. It just comes back to me when I'm sending voice notes to my friend Margarita, it comes back to me. But I need to be confident speaking to people that aren't just Margarita. And I think I need to focus on understanding the Austrian accent. French goals, I don't know what to write here because I'm not really focusing on French much, but my level should be C1, but obviously don't really speak it so much anymore. My goal really with French, I guess, is just to focus on speaking a lot, but also French grammar is important. I do have a French grammar book that I'm using, but I don't think I'm going to finish it. But I guess just to use that book. I don't know what points of grammar I really want to work on. Ce qui, ce que, I guess. Those relative clauses. Yeah. I don't know. And listening, because sometimes still I struggle to understand French people. Most of the time I'm fine. Like in the listening exams at uni, I was absolutely fine. But I was listening to a song in French the other day and I was like, I can only pick up bits of this. But maybe that could just be because the songs as well, people don't tend to sound exactly the same as they do when they're singing as when they're speaking. And they might have like a style to a specific tone to their voice. I don't know, like it can be harder, I guess, because even sometimes in English I'm listening to songs and I'm like, did that person say that or something else? Like I can think they're saying different words to what they're actually saying. I don't know. And then Italian, I guess really with Italian it's just to get started. Would be nice to be level A2 by the end of the year, I guess, because I'm not in any rush. Like B1 would be nice if I can be B1, but A2 is like the minimum, but B1 would be a dream. But like yeah, but that's not the level I am, so why am I putting it in bold? I'm currently level like A1, not even that, but can you not even be level A1? That's the first level. But yeah, to get there would be nice. I guess learn some vocabulary, because I don't really know much. I don't know, I don't really have any specific goals in Italian, because where you know, it's a new language, I've got so many different things to focus on. I kind of need to do a bit of everything. And that reminds me, German, I really need to focus on vocabulary, because I feel like I've forgotten a lot of words. So vocab, very important. I think link and close master could be good for helping me to learn German vocab. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, that's my goals really. Okay, so that's it really for my language learning goals. I most likely will just focus on those 4 languages and not anymore, because Italian is going to be a new language, so I need to dedicate time to that. And I feel like I need to get to an intermediate level really, so like B1 in Italian before I can bring another language into the mix. I don't know, but then this is me. I like learning languages. I could end up dabbling in something else, but whether I'll take something else seriously until 2024, I don't know. But I feel like I'm not going to stop there in my language learning journey, knowing me. There's already so many other languages that I am potentially interested in, but whether or not I will study them one day, I don't know. But like for example, I'm really interested in picking up an Asian language at some point. I did dabble in a bit of Korean. I did a Korean course when I was in Lyon, and that was so much fun. So potentially after Italian I could end up picking up Korean, because I know for a while I said Italian and Korean were going to be the next languages that I learn, and I ended up just going straight into Italian because I went to Milan and I wanted to speak a bit of Italian before going, and so about like travelling and using a language that I love, and like who knows if or when I'll ever go to Korea, although it would be great to go to Korea. But yeah, I don't know, someone also tells me Mandarin will be a good language to learn. Obviously that would be a real challenge, but I love the idea of being able to travel to loads of different places and use the language, and you know, I feel like I can use Mandarin to speak to a lot of different people. I don't know, I need to look into it. Also, for some reason I kind of also want to learn Russian. That was a language I wanted to learn years ago. I remember there was a stage where I was going to go to a completely different university and I was going to learn Russian instead of French. All stuff to look into, all challenging languages, but I think my next language needs to be a challenge, because Italian, it's kind of just like, oh yeah, they say once you learn one of the Romance languages you can learn them all, and I want to travel around Italy at some point, so yeah, let's throw Italian into the mix. And I'm going to end this video here because I've been rambling on a lot and you're probably very bored of listening to me. If you did enjoy this video and you didn't find it boring listening to me, then make sure to give it a big thumbs up and click that big red subscribe button down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!